everybody, Jessica here from Abracadabra Refurbished. How y'all doing? I am getting ready to paint this piece all by itself, just one at a time, and I'm going to been using the stain dark gray, my favorite. Obviously I use it a lot, and my 1.5 inch angled brush. I've already painted the base, but I'm going to go around the edge here. Because this top here, I'm going to stain it. I'm not sure with what exactly yet, but my husband had already sanded the top for me, or I would have used the stripper, and then I would have just stripped this edge too, but he sanded the top, and so I'm just going to paint this edge instead. And I like the angled brush because it gets right where I want it to go. See that? Angled brush is really good for that. And the top of this is nice and curvy. So I want to get a good coat of primer on. I'm not really worried about bleed through with this because the finish is still pretty good. But I do like the good coverage, and I plan on using more than one color and some water, and I'm going to do some drippy paint with water. So therefore it's kind of important to have a little bit of primer on, because otherwise it'll wash right down to the wood, and I have to layer the paint on in order to use the water to distress. And that's good. Good with that. It's got all the whole edge just like that, so quick. Okay, so I'm not exactly sure how I want this to turn out. In my head, I knew I wanted to do limestone and goldenrod, okay? And I want to use the wander transfer. I know this, but I thought it would be fun to also add, geez, what is this? Vintage duck egg? Geez, I don't even know what this one. Yeah, it's a teal. I think it's vintage duck egg. So I am going to start with the limestone. I have it in a foo-foo first in first out bottle, and I'm not sure. I'm gonna sneeze is what I'm gonna do. Okay. Oofda. So anyways, I'm gonna see how far this gets me, because there's not a lot left. I may have to go to the shop and get more, which is why I'm going to also use some water, and I'm going to use the teal. And then I'll use the yellow over the top and wash it down, type of thing. So, let's see. Probably get it a little closer. For now. I'm just going to start with water, because I'm going to do light, kind of light, airy layers, so I can build some color up. Okay, and the water is just going to help keep it thin and get me this color, because this limestone color is a lot lighter than the dark gray primer. See that? I don't need to have cold color coverage right now. I'll get this light cover on, and then I'll try to get one more light cover on. Take this edge to have a little paint on it. I'm going to do water dripping paint and distressing. So I'm basically just wanting to get some paint on here, like I said, build up the layers. Doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, because I'm going to use water and distress it anyways. Okay guys, I don't have a big huge plan. But like I said, I only had so much limestone, so I'm going to go with that. And now I decided I am going to do like I want to get some of this really cool. I think it's like a greenish color, but I think some people call it blue. I'm pretty sure it's called vintage duck egg. I forgot to look. I just know it's a beautiful Water color. I am spraying some water, and I am going to kind of color wash right over top of the gray. And I'm going to be doing yellow too, so. Kind of just playing it by ear and being creative. I don't really have a whole huge plan except that I wanted to use these 3 colors, and I also want to use the transfer called Wander. I really like that transfer, and I feel like these colors will match. And I'll probably add in copper as well. Copper or gold, usually copper. Sometimes gold. I really like copper. Oh, that went on a little thick right there, but that's okay. When I start washing it down and stuff, we'll probably end up seeing some more of the lighter gray from underneath. I'm just squirting it out of my Fifi bottle onto my paper plate using my Klingon S50. Okay, spraying with my Water Girl. Turquoise Iris Water Girl, and I am giving this a quick light mist of water, and I'm just gliding this paint right over the top of the limestone. Creating layers, different colors and layers of paint. Building up the layers in different colors of paint, I guess. It. And that looks pretty cool. It's Easter today. I had both my grandbabies overnight, so I'm a little tired, but anyways. And I've had Easter dinner, but I wanted to get this yellow on. I'm gonna put some goldenrod on here. Isn't that cool? It's all nice and drippy. I'm gonna drip the yellow too, but over the top. Then I'm gonna top coat it when it's dry and put some transfers on. And I'm going to use glaze as stain on the top. Now, why is it I don't have a paper plate to squirt onto? Now I have a plate. Squirted my, wow, goldenrod onto the plate. I have my brush. It's a little damp. I'm going to use my water bottle, but first I'm going to see how wet my brush is, because I don't want to have like tons of yellow, because I'm going to wash this yellow down to see the colors come underneath again. So let's see. I might dry brush it a little bit. I don't want it too wet. Oh yeah, that's pretty. I'm gonna like that. I can tell it already. That's pretty. Now when I get the Wander transfer on, it's gonna be screaming things spring on there. Okay, I got enough yellow on, I think. Oh shoot, you know what? I actually want to put it right around the brim. So, that's fine. just spray my plate and get a little bit up there. Yeah. There we go. Water. My turquoise iris water bottle. Now I'm going to just wash the heck out of it. Get the water, a lot of it on there. And I want to wash it, drip it. I want to see the tie-dye from underneath. I want to see the light gray white limestone and the turquoise color, which is vintage duck egg. For some reason I can't spit anything out today. Like I said, it's been a long weekend. Vintage duck egg is one of my favorites. I've been using the vintage duck egg, the goldenrod, and the limestone. I've been using a lot of it. Sometimes it takes quite a bit to get it going. It'll be a nice puddle on the floor by the time I'm done. There we go. Now we're starting to see the tie-dye. That's what I'm going for. And this Water Girl is actually so good for this because it just keeps spraying it out a lot. It's a fine mist, but it'll spray for a long time, which is exactly what I need right now for this. That I like. That's gorgeous. That's exactly what I'm going to do to the sides as well. The garage is loaded with furniture back here. Okay, today is make video day in the house, but I am going to add copper now. I think I might even put copper right up over the top of this, up on the top. I have to do a light little sand on the edges to clean up the paint. But anyways, now I am going to apply copper over the yellow. I used my heavy metallics, Wise-Owl of course, the copper, and I put it inside this little bottle here. Boy, it looks cool in there too. Here we go. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to spray wherever I'm going to squirt the copper. And I plan on putting the copper right over the top of the yellow. I'm going to get it wet first, where I plan on applying the copper. And then I will wash the copper down like I did all the other colors. Alright, I don't have my turquoise iris palette knife here. They're at the shop. I need to go and get myself one. And here I am going to just I'm squirting it right onto this putty knife, palette knife type thing. And I'm gonna just do it right on the corners. I'm gonna brush some on the thing. Yeah, the wrong side of my knife. I'm gonna switch it like this. I'm just gonna play with it until I like it, basically. Until I think it looks cool. Create some texture here. That one will probably water down a little bit. Hopefully that one won't get dotty. I just don't want those spots like it was. The way I did it last time, I didn't quite like this, how spotty it was. That looks better. Just that little extra little bit of detail is all I'm going to be doing. Not a lot. Get it on there. The dresser's kind of curved, so it's hard to go flat across with the knife. The turquoise iris ones are a little bit angled, and I wish I had that one here, but I don't, so. Okay, so I have the copper detail on the front and on the sides. I don't know if you can, how much of it you can see, but there is some shimmer in there. Not a lot of like super blunt, but it will be on the top because I am going to paint the top with the copper metallics. Not the glaze, just straight up copper. I'm going to spray the top and get it all wet. Essentially, I am staining the top, but I'm going to be using the copper paint. And I have never done this before, but you know what? First time for everything, right? The top of this is actually a veneer, so it's not real wood. And my husband sanded it. There's a couple little oopsies, so I figured the metallic paint will be a little thicker to cover it a little bit more. And then I'm just going to, actually I could probably just get it right out of the brush. I'm just going to squirt it on and brush it out, guys. And then once this dries, I will use the, oh, that drips over the side, that's okay. I will use the, I have varnish left. I don't have an opened 1 hour enamel at the moment. So I'm going to use the varnish I have open, and it's satin. Then So it is highly recommended, okay, to let your piece dry for at least 24 hours before you put varnish on. With this type of dresser, obviously I'm making it abstract, it's unique, and if it was to crackle or anything like that for me, I don't mind. So therefore, I don't mind taking the risk to see what happens. So I have Wise-Owl's varnish in satin, and this is what I have open, so this is what I'm going to use. Normally I would use the 1 hour enamel because it dries so quick. I'm going to use my angled brush, 1.5 inch specialty angled brush, and I'm going to dip right in. It's contaminating, I know. And I'm just going to brush it over the whole piece. Real quick long strokes. I think I would rather a larger brush. I'm going to grab one from the shop, one of the other specialty brushes. I think they're better for varnish. This one will do just fine. And the top of this is going to need at least 2 coats. So that's why I'm doing the top first. I'll probably only put 1 coat on the sides and the fronts. I mean, no one's going to be sitting on the sides and the fronts, right? So they should be fine with just 1 coat. Yep, it's going on nice and smooth. It's going right over the edge though, so I'll have to use the brush and go around the edge to get the drips going off the sides. You don't want to overwork this. You want to do long, quick, work quick strokes. It's going on. This is self-leveling varnish. You obviously want to put it on as even as you can, but it is self-leveling. Very high durable, water-based, low VOC. I just read the side of the can because I knew I better tell you, because I know with varnish it's a little different than 1 hour enamel. I'm usually supposed to wait longer for 1 hour enamel too, and I don't. But if you're doing something like super smooth and you have it all one color and you want it really perfect, you're going to want to wait. But with this, I'm not so concerned about it. That, and I'm going to be doing a lot of more things on the sides. I'm probably going to stamp the outsides of the drawers. I'm going to put a transfer on the insides, I mean, of the drawers. And then of course I salve when it's dry. I'll probably even put a coat of salve over the top. It seems like I missed some spots. Right now I'm just evening out where I just made a drippy mess on the sides. That'll dry looking sloppy. Definitely don't want that. Okay. Alright, that looks pretty good. Now I'm going to do the front because I want the front to dry so I can put the transfer on. And then I'll probably stamp the sides or stencil the sides of the insides of the, like, you know what I mean, like the edge sides. I don't know. Okay, now I'm going to use the Grain Sack Minis from JRV. And I am going to use, I picked out 4 of them. There's 6 in here. You see here 4 drawers, so on each side I'll do the same one. There's one that's the longer one. I'm going to put that on the long drawer, obviously, and then I'll put one of each on the rest of the drawers. So I think I'm going to do Royal River Seamless first. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see that one. So I'm going to put that one on the top drawer, and I'm going to stencil it with black paint. Wise-Owl black paint, obviously. And I am going to use my handy dandy adhesive spray. It's just spray adhesive that I got from Amazon. if you can see it or not. Okay, let's see, let's spray the right side. Not like that, so I want this side sprayed. Stick it on. Hopefully make it even. There we go. And the adhesive isn't like super sticky, but it's sticky enough to hold it in place without using tape. It tapes another way you can use as well. Pull some paint out. Just gonna use the cap. There's not a lot on there because I don't want to overload my brush. My brush is dry. It's the JRV Stencil brush number 18, and I usually use the cap. This black paint is going to get dumped into a FIFO bottle anyways, first in, first out bottle, and it won't really make a difference. So we're going to set this cap so I don't get it everywhere. Okay, and I'm just going to dab it, swirl it, whichever. First day. Yep, that's good. You can swirl it like this too, as long as your paint's not too watery. I like the texture when I dab. Sometimes I swirl just to get it in there faster. Maybe I should have used a little bit of a smaller stencil brush. I don't know. This one won't work. Just don't want it to go over the edge. And we'll pull it off. Ta-da! Isn't that gorgeous? I think that's gonna look cool. Okay, leave that stencil sit over there because I'm going to use it on the other side and on the same side of the drawer. Spraying my next tall one. Even it up. Just to see, right? Okay, try to put it on right in the center. And bring it here's good. This one just says grains, flower, is it in French maybe? French writing. Just a cool, cute little design. These are like really little lettering. I'm thinking I should have used a smaller stencil brush, but because I've already got this dirty, I'm going to make it work. If you're ever using the small JRV Grain Sack stencils, mini pack, you might want to use a smaller stencil brush because the detail is actually really tiny. Hopefully it doesn't bleed. And it's easy to get off. I don't want to go off the edge either. I'm using black obviously so that it sticks out for contrast. Here we go guys, I'm going to reveal what it looks like. There, I love it. Okay, now it's time to apply the transfer. I am using the Wander transfer. It's in the new pad format. I'm gonna tape my first piece on to the corner. I have already pretty much mapped it out. I'm hoping I get it even, I don't know. So I'm gonna use a little piece of tape You know, the varnish probably isn't all the way cured, so I'm gonna do that fast so it doesn't pull my paint off. I'm probably gonna have my scissors handy dandy and watch. They're not handy dandy. I need to have. Yeah, here's a pair of scissors. Probably gonna have to sit right on the floor because then my stool will put me up too high. And that's my bottom. Yeah. Alright, so a lot of times I cut the edge off. It just seems to be, I want to get it right in the corners. So I cut the edge off as close as I can get it, really. I can get it right to the edges. That side won't matter as much. Okay, I'm going to take the backing off. Carefully place it onto the dresser where I hope it comes out even. It's not perfect. Well, guess what? Life's not perfect. Okay, so we want to come up a little bit. Over just a little bit. To the side. And I think I'm going to go right about here. Let's try to push it on this side. And go in towards the middle on the bottom. We'll start there. There we go. Then I got my handy dandy little plastic tool. I'm going to start rubbing the transfer on.